There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and my mom is the nicest lady of all time. Growing up, I used to tell people that and they wouldn't believe me. After they'd meet her, they would reluctantly say, "You're right. She is the nicest person of all time." My mother loves two things: sweets and her parrots. Three things if you count her sons, which I don't. I'm making this video because she has a very special birthday this year. She's turning 21. Yes, 21. Get the shots of Hypnotic ready. She's ready to cut loose. Kidding. She's turning 70 years old. Born in 1955, the same year that James Dean's Rebel Without a Cause came out. The same year that Velcro was invented. The same year that Oprah Winfrey was born. So in honor of this milestone, I wanted to make her something special. But before we get to the surprise, there's a bit of a backstory. Growing up, we had a video camera. My dad bought it to capture crucial memories from our youth, memories that have now been lost to the ravages of time. Mostly because I used the camera to film illegal things that I was doing instead of capturing these remarkable moments. Last year, I found that camera. And buried in between footage of my short-lived college mustache was an interview. An interview my mom recorded with her father, Tom Stanton, before he passed away. What I love about film is that even if you forget, it doesn't. My grandfather was a kind, smart, and eternally curious person. He moved through life with the lightness of someone who never stopped wondering how things worked. He was the youngest of his brothers, a Navy man who enlisted right out of high school because he wanted to fly. And even though the war ended before he could, that sense of adventure stayed with him. He carried it into everything: his work in art and advertising, his love of the outdoors, and the way he raised a family of 9 with my grandmother, his partner for 68 years. He loved ideas, conversation, and imagination. And he had a way of making the world feel bigger than you thought. He was a man to admire and to aspire to, even if he would never let me borrow his car. So here he is, in all his glory. I give to you Tom Stanton.
Let's go. You want to go ahead and just start with your name and age?
All right, my name's Tom Stanton. I am currently 75, soon to be 76. I am the father of the person during the interview here, which should work out well, should be kind to me. My paternal grandfather was named John C. Stanton. He immigrated from Ireland and got here somewhere, I guess, in the 1880s, early 1890s. Settled in St. Louis, in North St. Louis. The home in which he was there. Your mother and I went kind of to see it one time. It was on the 21st and University Street, where we had a chance to walk through the house and kind of recreate some of the stories that were told by my father and talking to me about his father.
When you remember him, how do you remember him?
Oh, very fondly.
Okay.
Very loving, caring father who was unbelievably able to deal with quixotic behavior on my part. He really gave me lots of room to go in whatever direction I wished to go, and supported what in many times must have seemed absolutely absurd decisions on my part in terms of what we're going to do.
What would you say were the challenges of raising a big family?
Trying to turn you all into adults, thinking functional adults.
How did you do it?
Well, hopefully I did it, or not I, but we did, by making you make your own decisions.
Yeah.
When jumping to this day, still whines about life forcing her to make up her own mind about things. But it's from its earliest stages. It seemed to me that parents go through several stages with their kid. The first stage is custodial, when they're totally dependent on you. And from that point on, the next effort you make is turning them into functional adults, and getting them to the point where they can make their own decisions and accept the consequences of those decisions, which is to me, in the ultimate aspect of adulthood, when you recognize, when you're empowered, you make a decision, but with that empowerment comes some constraints in that you can't run back and whine about the fact that you made the wrong decision. So that, to my way of thinking, is what parenting is all about. One of the things I have found interesting about children becoming mature adults is that you have the option, when that occurs, to make a decision. Do I like them as people? And you love them because they're your children. There is that constant. The love factor, I think, is a constant. But you do have the choice then to decide, do you like them or don't you like them? And we've been fortunate in that we like our kids. And we find them, we enjoy in their company, and they become friends. At least I feel that way about them, and I hope that they share that feeling about us.
What's the one thing that makes you feel, most alive? I mean, what's the one thing that just makes you feel content, happy, glad you're here?
Well, this, my tennis friends say the best day of my life is today, because I'm here today. And my philosophy, which I told your mother to the point of nausea, I think, is that each of us has a lifespan that's like a piece of string. And when they reach the end of the string, regardless of where you are or what you're doing, that's the end of the string. And it's up to you to make the part string that you're using at this moment as fulfilling as you can, which means that you do things that are meaningful to yourself, but also, wherever possible, meaningful to somebody else as well. I don't think you can insulate yourself as you get older and say, well, I'm too old to do that. I don't think you're ever too old to do anything that you wish to do. It's very easy to turn yourself into an old man just by saying, well, I'm at 75, who could possibly play tennis 3 or 4 times a week? Maybe that 75-year-old men don't do that. Well, that's not true. 75-year-old men do that. 80-year-old men do it. You are as old as you choose to make yourself. The moment you begin to think you are old, you are. And it's all going to be downhill from that point on. Little by little, you're going to constrict the things that you are willing to do or try to the point where you become so introverted that you're not capable of doing anything new or expansive beyond that. I don't think any of the people I do business with have any idea that I'm 75 years old. I'm twice as old as most of the kids I'm dealing with. But age is not an issue. But I don't feel like 75. I don't know what 75 should feel like. But I don't feel physically any different now than I did when I was 35. And I don't feel that I can not do most of the things I did at 35.
The major blessings you've had.
Oh, I think it has been our acceptance of the fact that God can't really be outdone in generosity, and that we needed to really guide ourselves by that kind of thinking, and realize that it's up to us to do the very best with what we have. But there comes a point where we're not going to be able to control it.
You feel like you've had a good life?
Yes.
I think let's just stop there.
Do it best.
That's good. That's a lot.
Are you aware of how ill your Albert's thing is?
No.
And before we end this, I just want to say happy 70th birthday, Mom. I love you so much. I hope that this video could make your special day just a bit more special. Happy 21st.
Why are you growing out your mustache?
Because I have to. It's kind of like life. Everybody keeps telling me to shave it off. I'm like,